Hello and welcome to New Cycle. This game comes from developer and self-publisher Core Engage. In this game, we will build a new civilization out of the chaos of an apocalyptic solar flare, and then grow our house from a lone shelter to an industrial metropolis. Take on the burden of preserving life itself and help our people to realize their aim, a future beyond survival. So it kind of has a bit of a, well, the tone is more of a, settlement survival or a any of those like post-apocalyptic games. It also goes quite a bit as far as into the rebuilding of technology and civilization, rather than a lot of those games which are kind of more like staying in the survival mode. At least that's the impression that I get. But let's go ahead and jump in and get started. So, about New Cycle. The universe of New Cycle is set in a post-apocalyptic world where human beings are not only survivors, but also a species capable of reshaping its current conditions and pushing its capabilities against all odds. The philosophy underlying the game world argues that mere survival cannot be the goal, and that our species cannot simply accept it as the purpose of stagnant life. Just like their ancient ancestors, whose development and progress cannot be stopped as long as they breathe, our species will continue to struggle even in a world that is about to collapse. And the game aims to make us experience how and in what ways this struggle will take place with this unique fiction. New Cycle, which starts its journey with the early goal of feeding its population and establishing a settlement with makeshift structures, focuses on the process of transforming into a complex industrial metropolis, where tons of components of different varieties are processed and which is capable of developing and implementing massive projects. Using a slew of mechanics to organize and manage the entire settlement with its production chains, society, class structure, city life, and interactions with the outside world, the game tries to create a successful hybrid of different mechanics while staying true to the classic city management approach. And then there's also a bit here about the demo for the Steam-based Builder Fest. New Cycle aims to let you experience a long and complex progression, but this demo only gives you a small taste of the game to get a first impression on the game's world. The demo, starting from the introductory level of the universe, aims to show the main mechanics, which can be listed as general city building elements, community management, planning of needs, technology tree, resource management, service and road network planning, seasonal cycle, and independent events such as accidents. While we aim to introduce the general structure with the early stages of the universe in a demo with a gameplay time of 1 to 2 hours, we would like to remind you that New Cycle is an incomplete game. Thus, this version is a very limited one. In particular, the shortcomings regarding the animations, sound effects, UI UX, and several yet-to-be-added mechanics, such as building maintenance mechanics, diplomacy, and trade, will partially prevent you from getting the feeling of a completed game. In addition to the main story, the conveyor belt system, advanced crafting structures, and other mechanics that have been added to the universe over time require a large amount of gameplay time that is impossible to be experienced in this demo. As a small team that is getting ready to launch on early access with almost the flavor of a full game, we want to figure out what we can do better in the future with your feedback regarding the demo. So that's actually, the first game we've tried, but the first game I've ever seen that has sort of an acknowledgement of the demo and the role the demo is playing in their game as a whole, and what their expectations are, which is actually kind of refreshing a bit. So here, we choose a game mode. There's Sandbox, which is a peaceful mode without the outside threats or constant changes to environmental conditions, and all the components of city building and survival are active, but endgame challenges are absent. This is recommended for newbies, but it does not have achievements. This is the one we're going to do because we're newbies. But also there's a campaign, which is a story mode presenting all the mechanics and tribulations that can be experienced in the living universe of New Cycle, and has achievements active. And then there's Sanity. This scenario, begun as the leader of an advanced settlement, revolves around the sudden appearance of a mysterious disease that causes large convulsions in the fabric of your community's social order and collective mental stability. You must manage this atmosphere of desperation and come up with a solution to save your city from total annihilation. And then finally we have Old Ways, which is a large-scale self-defense mechanic, which we do not have access to yet. And what does that button do? Apparently nothing. Okay, so let's go into Sandbox mode and select. and then we can choose which map type we want to start in. We're only able to actually start in the meadow, so home to open stretches of land and fertile soil. This biome transitions relatively smoothly between seasons. Though not overly challenging in terms of food and water, underground resources are somewhat scarce. Plus 40 morale at the start of spring as well. So there's tundra, of course, there's mountain, and then there's desert, which is still apparently pending completely. So let's go ahead and pick the meadow and then start our game. And if my reading of that was a little too fast, I was just trying to get through it. But I wanted to read it out loud as well from the perspective of playing the demo and things like that. But I also didn't want to take up a lot of time on it. So pause to space. Pause to space. Space to pause. 1, 2, 3 are our speed controls here, as are pretty standard in many games of the type. And then we have a message here from the community. Welcome to New Cycle, a message from the community. You are now the governor of this little community. It's been nearly half a century since the first solar flare. In the initial moments of the catastrophe, we lost our entire technological infrastructure, our means for global sourcing, and almost everything that we can share as a civilization. The following years were humanity's darkest, having to wrestle with constant impossibility and despair. From battles fought with sticks and stones to nuclear wars, we ended up destroying ourselves what little the sun had left for us. Destroying ourselves what little the sun had left for us. Okay. Inflection. And civilization fell. Next. Everyone here was born into this new world, and you have to be their leader. Our current flimsy shelter can't carry us far. We must rebuild everything from scratch with the efforts of those who remain, so we can establish a sustainable way of life. We need to rediscover our lost knowledge and explore our surroundings to create new possibilities. Most importantly, beyond mere surviving, we have to find a way of securing our next generation, by whose time the world may not be habitable anymore. We don't know how we can preserve life as we know it, but we can at least help build something that we may call home. Okay, so we want to start with the tutorial because we're new. Alright, so here we are. Chief, our nomadic lifestyle, gave us enough knowledge to build simple shacks. If we are to settle down here, we will need sturdier and more durable shelters, workplaces, and storage depots, and for that, we need to be able to process a variety of resources. We can get started by collecting some resources. Primitive structures made out of logs and stones will suffice for a start. We can gather those raw materials by building a field camp close to the resources we need. So build a field camp and gather some logs and some stones. Down here, I think, field camp, and we have plenty of logs, as you can see, plenty of stones, and plenty of iron. I gather from my brief efforts earlier in my sort of test launch of the game, that even though there are physically trees, say here, they're not actually gatherable trees. You can only gather from these glowy nodes here, and you can only gather the ones that are in the circle of influence of the prospective building here. So maybe we go like right there, and that should be good. We'll let them build that. That takes a few moments to build. If you have the resources immediately are deposited in the building. There's no like hauling of resources mechanic. It appears, oh, that person is carrying something. And this is kind of like our town hall. It's our camp. We could name this town anything we want to. And there's a few things here that we are able to do at least later on. Right now, there's not really a whole lot we can do with it. We do have 35 people. All 35 of them are unassigned to jobs. This will tell you how many free you have and then how many total you have. Change the game speed. We know that. Thank you. We talked about that already. Hide that, please. So we've built the field camp now, and now we need to, I'm going to slow it down a bit, and we need to actually assign workers here. So we want to assign all 3 workers to both logs and stone. At full workforce, we're able to gather 18 logs per day and 14 stone per day. So in just over a day, we will have enough stuff to suffice, and then we can proceed from there. There is an upgrade button. I'm not sure what that exactly does, because I don't think we can click on it yet. Yeah, we can't. So it doesn't do anything yet. I don't know if that's locked out in the demo or if how this works exactly. We can build roads, but we need lumber to build roads first, which is kind of an interesting, aspect of the game. But I want to look at, where's our resources at? There. Some up there. And it appears that if you build where there's a resource, you will destroy said resource. So keep that in mind as well. And I don't exactly know what these little tents are. I guess they're the temporary housing for these 35 people. I guess. We need to get to 50 people to get to the second era. Okay. We've gathered all the stone we need. They're felling trees, you can see. So interesting. I don't think there was a wood symbol there. But they are felling the trees in their range. But maybe it's just like a indicator, and then they're actually physically chopping the trees as a physical pointer that, hey, there's something going on around here, kind of thing. All right, we finished that up. Great. Off to a promising start, Chief. We may go on gathering nearby resources for a while. We should focus on producing more complex materials by processing the raw ones. Our settlement can develop as far as the limits of our knowledge and production. We can create flexible and processable constructions or objects through woodworking. So let's build a sawmill to produce some lumber. Here in production, we can build a sawmill and go there. And then we could, once we get the lumber going, we can then extend the roads around that if we'd like. I mean, there's a lot of wood in our range here, almost 8,000. I think we started out at 8,000 wood and like 9,200 or something stone. So it's not like we don't have plenty of wood in our reach here. But just kind of, it looks like if you build on it, it will destroy some, but I might be wrong with that. Let's go up to higher speed just to get it done a little bit faster. And you can see across here what resources we have, and I'm assuming the ones with the lit up icons are the ones that we need to look at next, or the ones we can produce, as opposed to the ones that we cannot produce. So here we want to do logs, and let's put all 5 people in here. This is going to produce 13 lumber per day by consuming 13 logs per day. We are producing 18 logs per day, so we're producing a little bit of a surplus. Ooh. Interesting. Okay, so none, then product. You can see what each building is producing. You can see the number of workers. Oh, because this has 2 more slots. Yeah, okay. And then you can see any warnings there might be by pressing Alt to toggle between those overlays. We've produced 8 now lumber so far today, or so far on this task. And so we can continue with that. By the way, we are in spring here, as you can see here. We'll proceed through that. What's this up here? Refreshment. Oh yeah, plus 40 morale to all classes. This year's rains were enough to renew the existing resources in the land. Mushroom, meat, and water resources renewed. Okay, so those must wear out and then respawn kind of in the spring, which is a good, interesting mechanic. Source of life. People are the most significant resource for our settlement. We must respond to a wide range of demands, from basic to costly. We have to set up a self-sufficient system to meet our basic requirements. We can start by constructing a well to meet our need for clean water. Build a well, produce 60 water. Primitive wells will help to meet our clean water need. However, they can be affected by the seasonal changes to a degree that some might even run dry or completely freeze over. You can view the water layer while placing a well, or from the construction menu to determine water-rich areas. Okay, so I'm guessing the blue is water-rich. We can also see this little meter here that shows, I'm guessing, the richness of the current well. We can't build it up kind of in the mountainy areas here or something. So maybe we just build it somewhere over these 2 kind of physical nodes here. And hope for the best, maybe. Like that. And then we need to produce 60 water from that when the time comes. Can we build some of those roads now? Oh yes, we can. Let's build a road down here to the well, or just past the well. It seems like the way that the road building works, by the way, is that the node here where the roads start and stop you want to put outside the corner of the building so that you can cross the road here later if you'd like. It just seems that way. So then I'll put one right here. And that'll make sure that we kind of continue this road along that way a little. Let's go up to full speed again. Or it's speed 2 again, rather. And then this produces automatically. It does not need workers. So we're producing 120 water per day. So 60 water will take us a half a day. And there we go. Step 3 complete. Now what's next? Now that we have access to water, we are only one step short of calling this place home. A life without the worry of hunger will turn us into a real society. Although we don't yet have enough resources for hunting, farming, or animal husbandry, our experience in staying alive by living off the land may come in handy. Lots of easily found edible mushrooms are scattered all around. We should build a gathering camp and start stockpiling raw food. Okay, gathering camp. So there's a crap ton of mushrooms down here, but again, I want to be careful with placement of this so that we don't destroy that node if that node is destroyable, and also the meat node here. So maybe we go right here, kind of smack dab in the middle of those 3 mushrooms, and then there was 2 meats as well in the area. What do you want? I'm doing it. I'm literally building the gathering camp right now. Come on down. Are they carrying resources down here after all? It's a little... maybe that's their toolboxes. I think that's their toolboxes. Yeah, I think so. Look at that person. What are you doing? This person is generally in good shape, neither more nor less. Just a worker, doesn't really say what they're specifically doing, except that they're schlepping this huge box down here for something. This huge crate. Okay, we can't see what they're doing anymore. They have hidden from us. And then we can assign 3 people to picking mushrooms, up to 144 per day. We have 61, 62 in our range, so that'll last us for hopefully a little while. Hopefully. And we'll get there in no time with the gathering limits here. Or requirements. There we are. Step 4 complete. The time has come to cook our meals. People eating whatever they have on their plates does not mean that they are content with it. When there is nothing to eat, they will get demoralized, sick, and maybe even fall into the jaws of death. As a society, we must organize the production and distribution of hot food. For starters, a plate of soup will do as long as everybody has their share and they do not have to worry about hunger anymore. Research basic construction. Build a soup kitchen. Produce 30 simple meals. And also, I noticed that the sound is not nearly as loud in the game as it was in the menu. So let's turn the music up a little bit. Because the game actually has some decent sounding music. Probably even increase the ratios here a bit. Somewhere in that area, I think. Yeah, I think that's good. Okay, so we need to research, which is this button over here that's flashing at us. The tech tree has 4 menus here. We only have 1 that we can do, which is the blue dot, and none that we can't do. We'll come here, basic construction, and start the research. This is going to cost us 18 wood and some community knowledge, which we are constantly gaining based on the size of our community, I think, and possibly the types of workers in our community. And then it also will take a certain amount of time, 24 hours to complete. So 50 knowledge, 24 hours, and 18 wood. We have everything but time. Wait, we have time too. Go ahead. Make my research. And we are reaching the end of spring here. We finished the research. Good. Stockpile, soup kitchen, and simple meal. Okay, so we'll build a soup kitchen maybe here. Wait a minute. I want to look and see at something real quick. If we do... No, okay. If we come back here to the gathering camp, I do not want to build, or I will destroy that node, but I think we are safe to build the soup kitchen right here and not destroy that mushroom node. Now, I don't know if it actually destroys it or not, but it disappears, so I'm afraid that it's going to destroy it. And so I am careful. And now the music has gotten loud. I lied. And we need to come down a little bit more. Wait, that's the master volume that we're controlling here. Okay. How about if we do that? Okay. New season, spring, except that we got into summer, so I think there's a little bit of a thing with that. But we're working on the soup kitchen. So this is an interesting thing too. This build meter. The little ticks fill up 1% at a time or whatever, but the big ticks fill up each 20 of those percentage points, which is kind of an interesting build meter. And we can make mushroom soup because we only have mushrooms and water anyway. So let's make mushroom soup and put 3 people on the job. That'll give us 24 soup a day, assuming that we have 24 times 7 and 24 times 2 mushrooms and water respectively coming in each day. 24 times 7 is not quite enough, but I think we'll be okay. At least assuming that this is... Assuming that this is each one, which it looks like it is. And the water's fine. We're getting 120 water a day. But we can also see kind of what our rate of production, our rate of consumption is here. And we can actually click on it and see the graph of production, the ins and outs. I think we'll see the outs here in a moment for the next day, actually. But as long as we're still producing more than we're consuming, I'd say we're pretty good. We're only consuming 7 logs per day, even though this consumes potentially 13. Interesting. Curiouser and curiouser. Yeah, we're getting close to our production value there, but that's good. And so we're producing 30 simple meals. It just takes a little bit of time. 28, and then... Oh, no, it produces 2 at a time. I just saw 2 light up. Okay, 2 simple meals is 7, so yeah. That's only 12 times 7 then mushrooms. At last, our settlement resembles a home. Everyone has a job, something to offer our society. We are producing food, water, and construction materials. Before ramping up, we need some basic rules and a sense of order. We have unfortunately yet to solve the problem of sharing what we have. This should not be a concern anymore. We must figure out how to equally distribute consumables to every member of our society by establishing rules. We can think of this as the daily distribution of shares according to the general need for consumption. Proportions represent how much of a consumable is used per person in a day. We must respond to every need, but decisions about each proportion should be made according to our resources and production capacity. The general level of morale will be generated by what gets distributed, at what rate, and how successfully. Morale directly influences the production performance of our settlement. Also, it can affect our people's reactions to unexpected events, positively or negatively. We need to set our ration distribution to regular, and then distribute rations successfully for 3 days. And that is done here at the population button, which took me a bit to find before, but it does flash so you can see it. And we need to set this to regular, which means that we need to have 35 meals per day, and we're only capable of producing 24. Now, I think we can pull this off for the 3 days we need to pull it off for. So we're just, or 2 days rather, that we need to pull it off for. So let's just go ahead and wait for them to do that, because we had almost a whole day's worth stockpiled anyway. And we can see that graph here too of consumption and production. Yeah, we only produced 22 in the first day, but that was the day we built the thing, so that makes some sense. Yeah, 7 times 12 is 84. Science. Oh, it's adding all the graphs on there. Oops. Uh-huh. Interesting. I like it. Make food. Make food fast. Production says only 14 per day? It should be 24 per day. 2 simple meal every 2 hours. Should be 24 per day. We finished the step at least. Congratulations, we've become a self-sufficient settlement and moved beyond temporary campsites. From now on, you must devise production plans according to the needs of your people and the settlement. You can set your course by exploring the technology tree. Remember, we may have no time. You know what to expect? We know what to expect, but we can't be sure when or how. Hint, with time you can produce higher grade goods like clothes, drinks, and paper. Before then, you have to train craftsmen to take part in these production projects. You can start training your people by researching and building a technical boot camp. Alright, so let's take a look in the tech tree. Now we have more things unlocked. There's 1 unavailable thing here, 2 unavailable things here, 2 unavailable things here, and 1 available thing here. So, unless we want to try and find where that boot camp might be, which I don't know if it's even shown. Ooh, hunting, that would be good. Metalworking techniques first, though. We need to come in here. Vocational training, that's the technical boot camp. Okay, so we need to get our way over there. But the only thing we can actually research right now is oath. We cannot achieve the level of civilization we've once had by only developing materially. The real backbone of the constructions and social institutions we establish is the values that define and distinguish us. For us, oath is not only a legal boundary, but also a lifelong desire. So this also gives us the ability to make shacks. And it requires basic construction, which we already have. That's why it's blue. And so we can start the research. Meanwhile, over here, these are both red, so we can't do this until we have unlocked both of those. Metalworking techniques is probably here, and it's going to require us to have oath, so we're working on that now. A group of foreign people have been detected. Did I miss them? A flock of refugees, 14 workers, appeared near the edge of our settlement. This group of wanderers, each more unfortunate than us, awaits permission to join our ranks. The more of our settlement grows, the more attention we'll get from passers-by. Yeah, they're here now. Okay, good. And the more people will be willing to join us in terms of both frequency and numbers. Although we are open to everyone who accepts our oath, we may not be able to provide every newcomer with food. Let's accept that. Let's also come in here to the food thing and take the distribution down to medium. That requires 24 food per day, which is, at least in theory, exactly what we're producing. So that'll be good. We took care of them. Thank you. All right, so we have more people here now. We have 49 total people because that was 14 onto our 35. And so we have 32 workers available, and their morale, which I think is that thing here, yes, is 15. And we can just increase that by 20. Why does it say 20 and that says 15? Curious. I don't know. But either way, that's the morale, I believe. So we're going to need to be able to make more food, but we are already consuming 84 of our 144 mushrooms per day. So we can't afford to make entire new fully staffed thing, but we could produce more. And we have lots of water available, 6,000 water, so we should be okay there. Shack is researched. Before we start building shacks, we can either do metalworking techniques or metalworking techniques. I think we should do metalworking techniques next. And now we can build some shacks. So let's see, maybe we can build them here. Residence, shack. These cost 15 stone and 27 lumber apiece. So let's go ahead and get a couple of them built. One of them, I guess, built. Although I think we can maybe do like a shift click to build more. Yeah, okay. Shift click if you want to chain build. I think we'll just start with 2 though, because it's going to take them a little bit of time to get those built anyway. And we did just take quite a bit of our lumber. Not that we can't build more. Technology research. Forge, smith, iron ingot, basic tools, and iron ore. Alright, we'll have to get started on those. We can start mining the iron ore, though, anytime. Just by assigning some workers here to get that mine going. We probably don't even need that many, actually. Yeah, we don't need 168 iron per day. 56 should probably be enough for right now. Sturdy roofs. Every one of us needs a proper place to live. We have food and water, but sleeping at whatever nooks we find each night does not help prepare us for the next day's labor. We need suitable shelters that can protect us from unpredictable weather. Build 3 shacks. I think we can probably pull that off. We've of course built 2 already, but they don't count. So we have to build 3 more, and so I think we're going to do something like this. And then I'm going to build a road from here to here. And then also, I should have done the shift key thing from there to the same place over here. And that'll give us, you know, a block of 6, which I think is probably a decent size. I don't know. We've eaten through a quarter of our mushrooms already. Yeah, this one's gone. Those 2 are left. At least that's what it appears to be. That could be a good place to build some stuff right in here. Yeah, there's a little bit of logs there, but we can probably take care of that if we need to. So I think maybe we should start looking at production of iron ingots. Can we do that here? Yeah, let's put one right in there. We have 4 days to complete this objective. So some objectives are timed and therefore limited. But we should have just pulled it off. Almost just pulled it off. Ooh, services, too. The capacity is 10, so having 5 houses makes sense. Anyway. I mean, I guess they were probably sleeping in here. But... oh, we need more knowledge to get to the era 2 anyway, even if we had the people. Alright, we completed the objective. That's good. I don't know if I want to cap this block off here, or if I want to wait. I think I'll end it here. Like that. So the other road thing is a little interesting, but I think it makes sense. Just kind of a little bit odd here. Oh, click here for result info. Though it was hard, we excelled. It is a happy day for our house as we are slowly leaving uncertainty behind. People are encouraged by success. If we can keep on like this, we may meet positive outcomes beyond what we expected. Are there more mushrooms somewhere else nearby just to kind of be prepared? There's one node there. There's another node out here. We got those 3 covered. There's one node there and another node there. You know, maybe we could set up a camp out here too, potentially, to be able to gather more mushrooms. I'm guessing that once we burn, that there may be some depletion in the wintertime, so it probably wouldn't hurt to you know, have a camp out here to be able to gather those, even if we're not doing it right now. We need to produce iron ingots. At full work staff, we produce 7 bars per day, consuming 0.6 ingots per day, consuming 2 ore every 0.6 ingots. So 2 ore. Oh no, 0.6 per craft, 7 per day. So 7 divided by 0.6 is like about 12. So does that mean we need to have 24 iron ore coming in per day? If that's the case, then we're good, because this is bringing in 56 already. And I don't know that we need to have a bunch of iron ore laying around. Let's see. It looks like we're consuming about 12. Should be producing twice that much. But then again, this could be a ramp up from, yeah, day to day kind of thing. It might, yeah, it's going up still. Okay. Looks like we might be full on mushrooms. We might need, I saw we unlocked a stockpile. We might need that. What do we have for resources over in this area? Nothing. Well then, let's put a stockpile right there. There we go. And I guess that destroys that camp, but they don't need it anymore. They can live in the freaking houses. There we go. And let's do also a dusty road here. Right to there. Just like that. Moving on up. So if we have this, which isn't quite finished yet, just about, we could have them pick some more mushrooms out here. Maybe even just, well, let's see. We're consuming 84. 84 times 2 is 168. So we really only need one more worker picking mushrooms if we wanted to do 2 full ones of these. So maybe we do another soup kitchen right in here. And then that way we can produce enough food to go back up to normal. Because right now we're at 24, which is exactly what we're producing. But if we could go back up to normal, that would make our people happier. But that's assuming that we... tools. That's assuming that we have enough food coming in, which we're stopped at right now, until we can get this... No? Okay, we can increase the storage limit here. Our total storage is 10,500. Yeah, why don't we increase that to 2,000 mushrooms? So we can stockpile them that way. Is this over here? Tool supply is low? Well, I wonder why that could be. Okay, so let's put maybe Smith in here. Ooh, look at that fit. Except that's going to be in the way of my road. But I guess we don't need to put a road through right there. That's going to eat up those mushrooms. Yeah, this is fine. I think that's fine. This needs more lumber, so we just need to get more lumber made. It's just a matter of all the building we've been doing, and we're maxed out there. Although we could potentially collect more logs and then make more lumber. Right now, we're turning one log into 1.6 lumber, if I'm understanding the recipe correctly. So we're using maybe about 10 logs per day. Looks like it's toggling a little bit, but it's more like 8, maybe. It's close enough for fuzzy math. So we'll just so because we didn't have enough, they didn't get delivered right away. But as soon as they get made, then they get delivered immediately. I still don't think there's any sort of carry mechanic or anything like that. Yeah, there we go. And now we can see it accumulating again as we are making more. Oh, you can edit the slot too, so you can put different things in the menu if you want. Interesting, or in the toolbar there if you want. Are we doing any research right now? No, we are not, because we don't have something. Hunting. That needs tools. Okay, so that's what we're doing right now. We're making tools. Or we're making the thing to make the things. We are producing 7 iron bars per day. Tools are going to consume max speed. 2 iron ingots make 0.6 tools, so that's like 14 or something. Yeah, we definitely can't produce that much. Maybe come down to here. That's more like 6 or 7 times 2, which is like 12 to 14, and we're making 7, so we're still producing too much, but we also have a little bit of a backlog. It says we're consuming 10 per day. But now it says we're consuming 14 per day, and then it says 2, and then it doesn't know. Okay, but we are only producing 2 or 3 per day, which is also interesting. We should be producing more like 7 per day. Alright, well, we'll see. I could probably just make another forge. That might be the best thing. Put that in right here. Let's go ahead and start some more mushroom soup, too. Full tilt here. Assuming that we have enough mushrooms coming in, which I think we do, from the 48 down here plus the 144 here, that's just a bit over 200. 202 or something, so I think that's good. We need more. Chief, since we can now process metals, you can give us the means to produce durable and effective tools of our own creation, so that we can see to our daily tasks. Work can be done without tools too, but this will tire us physically and mentally, and the more often we have to work without tools, the more likely we are to cause workplace accidents. Alright, so let's do it, I guess. Produce 50 basic tools. Yeah, we can do that. I think we can do that. Since we literally have the stuff here to make the tools now. But yeah, we're out of iron, so we definitely need more iron coming in. Let's have them go ahead and do that for a little bit here with the 2. And that'll give us 14 per day, and I don't know. We'll see if our stockpile goes up a little bit or stays steady, and that way we'll know if we need to tune this a little bit. Or I mean stays depleted. Yeah, it looks like we're about even right now. 3 here to a total of 6 here. We need stability. Chief, it seems like we've been able to put set things right since settling down. Our small settlement, built by toiling day and night, now needs some security and stability. We should at least make sure that we have left our days of hunger and thirst behind. Meet the food and water demands of the whole population for 3 days on regular distribution. I've been working towards managing this, so I think we're going to try to manage this. We just need to change that here to be regular and regular. And that's going to need 147 water and 49 simple meals per day. I think we can pull that off, at least for the 3 days, with the stockpiles we have. But we're going to need to probably produce some more water. We depleted 1 water already. Let's go look for some more water, too. There's a node out here, a couple of nodes out here. 3 nodes out there. There's some nodes over here. There's 3 of them there we could hit. Anything else down here? No. I think we should come up to these 3 over here. I don't think we can get all 4 of them in the same collection. But that's pretty good. We finished the food and water one. That's good. Let's do like here maybe. And I want to build a road all the way out there, which is going to be a bit extensive. Here, I guess. There. And then there we go. All right, let's see the results of this. Chief, we have overcome this trial. It's a source of joy for everyone, though a small one. Nice. So let's take that down to medium again. It's going to affect morale. It'll knock morale down on the next day, but I think I want to be a little bit more sustainable. And so let's just make sure that we can sustain the food, plus maybe to make it through winter, which is coming. That would be really good. So now that we have tools being made, we have 13 of them. What can we do for technology? Hunting requires 22. Construction requires iron. Let's do that one then. 48 hours, 725 knowledge, windmills and electricity, 40 lumber, 6 iron ingots. There we go. Yeah, we're still capping out our mushrooms, which is kind of fine, kind of not. Let's take maybe 1 worker out of here. Because, well, actually, you know what? They might... Oh, they're almost done. Wait. How are they only almost... Oh, they got these over here, too. Oh, they're sharing those. Okay, that's fine, then. Yep. That little node's got a few left in it. But by taking that down, then I can probably also take this down a little. Although maybe not right now. Maybe we wait and see here. Wow, we're producing a lot of mushroom soup right now. Yeah, we're actually at a... sort of a good place for mushroom production. Although I'm not sure how it's 168 with those 2 numbers. It should be 144. But also, that was potentially using, before we had taken it down, like it's a trend over time kind of thing, or an average over a certain distance, length of time. Our iron ingots are going up. Let's put another worker in here, just to make more tools. Come completed another objective. Although it's not a large stock, if we can produce and store at such a pace, and make a habit out of producing at this pace, we can sustain our forward momentum. Nice. And we are using the tools, by the way. They do have low tool distribution, which needs 5 tools per day. So we are consuming some of these tools as we are, you know, making them. What is that? Stones or something? Looks like stones. Yeah, stones, and then iron ore over there too. How are you all doing over here, by the way? Plenty of resources? Plenty of resources. Great. So unless we need more resources coming in, either more of one of these or more of these, then there's no point really in building another field camp, because we have plenty in that area. Alright, so we just finished the power research. Let's come over here to adaptation and sustainability and do hunting, which is going to give us the ability to harvest meat, fish, and leather. Cost 22 tools, but that's okay. We have them. We had them, past tense. Yeah, sorry, we consumed a lot in the last day. We're producing... Looks like we should be producing 12 per day. Doesn't exactly show that, but should be. And with the power thing, I don't know exactly what it does. I mean, other than... Oh, I see, there's a wind overlay. Well, that's neat. Alright, so there's definitely some good spots. We can try that right there. You can see we're already running power lines. They run power lines when they run roads, apparently. Like, that's part of the plan. Okay, so we just finished hunting. Can we do any of these other 2 yet? That needs more tools and even more tools. So let's let the tools accumulate again. If we could do maybe another forge, we could make some more tools. We should be able to do another forge. We're still producing more iron ore than we're consuming. We have 18 workers left, so let's do another forge. Should I do... Yeah, let's do this spot right here. And then once that's done, we can do that. But we can also turn on hunting. Now we have a little bit of meat here. Mushrooms are not available now because it's winter. Winter has come. Neither is... Oh no, we don't have any fish in range, but we can do some hunting here. So let's do some hunting instead. Here and here. Get some meat coming in, and then we could switch one of these over to a different recipe once we have some meat. I'm waiting for the meat to stockpile a little bit, and also to see how much we're producing. It should be 54 times 2 per day, so 108. Ah, they did the windmill. It's producing 0.6 electricity. I don't know what that turns into in terms of whatever, but I imagine it leads to knowledge. But we need another person. What's this up here? Plus 20 morale to all classes from success from those missions, I guess, that we did. Those objectives or tasks. I like that the seasons change. I like the look, how the look changes with the seasonal change. That's nice. Let's do this, and 3 more people here. That'll give us quite a lot of tools, and I think we can at least do 1 more here to try to... Or that's all we can do, actually, is 1 more. To try and get that recipe up to... Well, no... Okay, I'm not sure exactly what the ratio is here. If it's... I guess it is 1.2, like 2 iron to every 1.2. Not sure. A group of foreign people have been detected again. A flock of refugees, 13 workers, appeared near the edge of our settlement. This group of wanderers, each more unfortunate than us. Okay, we've read through all that. Let's accept them again, which means, of course, we need to build some more housing. 1 here would be good. And maybe we could start up here next, like that. Because we need to have enough for 62 people. We only had enough for 50, so we need 2 more houses. But that gets us to this bar. We just need a bit more knowledge acquired here. Can we do one of these? Yes, we can. We can do surveillance. Earth is not dead yet. The area around us may hold gifts from the old world. New gains, mysteries, societies, and potential risks await us. Unlock the Scout Guild building. Okay. Is there anything else in hunting that we got, or any of these other ones that we got that we didn't deal with yet? Not really. Okay, we'll do that research then. So 3 forges to 1 smith is just about right. Not quite right, but maybe it's like 2.5 or something. At least with just workers. Once we get to these other worker types, we will probably be in a better place for that. Technology research, Scouts Guild. Okay, is that here? Send scouts to explore surroundings and exploit opportunities. How about we attach that kind of out here maybe, or maybe in here? Yeah, let's put it right here next to the forge. That costs stone, lumber, and iron ingots to build. And then our final research is going to be vocational training, but we need more tools stockpiled for that. So we'll have to spend a little bit of time on the tools. Ah, we reached a new era. New era, era 2. That unlocks a whole bunch of new building types that I'm assuming we have to research, but unlocks them. We can also deal with copper and then bronze, wire, clay, brick, clothes, coal, sand, and glass. Alrighty. Let's do, yeah, so we unlock community needs at a tavern here. I'm going to do the vocational training. And then here unlocks a few things in the next tier. Wow, 3250 knowledge. That's a lot. Insulated furnaces, structural statistics, or statics, sorry. Mine surveying, divided layers. And then here we have weaving. And that must be where we use the hides that we've been collecting and not really using yet. From the hunting component. I did not switch this to be meat. Let's do that instead. Just make meat into soup. And we're still turning the mushrooms into soup, which we aren't picking any more mushrooms, but we are at least still using those mushrooms to cook with. We have a ridiculous amount of simple meals, but hey, you can never have enough food stockpiled as long as it doesn't spoil. So, but I think we're going to actually leave this here. We've made it through just about a full year, and I think we've done pretty well. This game is interesting to me. Yes, it is, similar to some other games we have played or that have been, available in the past. But also, games have like an undefined way of, I think, striking you is interesting more or less than other games, and this one's definitely interesting to me. I mean, it's got the survival element of certain other games, kind of in the vein of Frostpunk, for example, given that it's a post-apocalyptic type of thing, but where that one is very rigorous and whatnot. This is much more calm and relaxing, and you can kind of just build your city, at least so far. What strife and what challenges we come up against later are gonna be what they're gonna be, but at least for now we can kind of see how this game works and what it's about. I believe the game is scheduled to release sometime this quarter. I believe it's coming, I think the intro stuff we read at the beginning said that it's coming into early access, so it won't be a completed release, but it'll be available for purchase sometime in first quarter of 2023 here. So keep an eye on Steam for that. Add it to your wish list and follow it if you're interested in the game. Also keep an eye on my channel for more demos. I think I have one more scheduled because this is episode for Sunday. I think I'm going to do one for Monday, and then I think that'll be it for Steam Base Builder Fest. But if there's other games that I didn't cover that you're interested in, let me know, because I can take a look at them at least, and maybe we can look at doing a series on them when they come out if they're not available already. And also let me know what you think about this game and what you think about this game or a series of this game once it's available. Available on Steam for us to play. So thank you all for watching. Let me know. So let me comment in the comment section or in the chat or on Discord about this game or any of the other games that you might be interested in, and I will look at doing series for those. So thank you all for joining me, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.